What's good? This is Trey with Legit Game coming to you with a video on how to be the coolest man in the room. All right. So I think this is a very powerful topic because when it comes to picking up women, if you're in a room or a venue or somewhere where there is competition, meaning there's other men, you have to stand out. You have to give the women there a reason as to why they should choose you as the man they're going to go home with, the man they're going to give their number to, the man they're going to give the time of the day, whatever it is. There has to be a reason why this woman should choose you, especially if she doesn't know you, right? So one of the ways you can show your value to a woman is by being the coolest man in the room. What's interesting though is being the coolest man in the room is not what you think it would be. You would think by actually trying to be cool, you could actually be the coolest man in the room. But the reality is the coolest man in the room is usually the guy who doesn't care about being the coolest man in the room. So essentially the guy who's not even worried about looking cool, the guy who's actually, he could possibly be trying to make a fool out of himself, or maybe he's just very carefree or indifferent about the situation. But basically the guy who's the most comfortable in the environment, in himself, and around women, he ends up being the coolest guy in the room. So he may not be the best looking guy in the room. He might not be the best dressed, might not be the most articulate, most social, most confident, but he's the guy who doesn't care about being cool. So essentially, if you're in a environment and you are trying to be cool, by definition, you're probably not the coolest guy in that room. Because the coolest guy in the room does not try to be cool. He just is cool because he's comfortable, because he knows who he is, because he's not trying to impress anybody. He's just being him. You know, he knows who he is. He knows his character. He knows his archetype. He knows his persona, and he's just going to be that. He's not going to try to be something else to impress a specific woman or to impress a specific person. He's just going to be who he is. Now, if you want to be the coolest man in the room, it's not just about not trying to be cool. You not trying to be cool has to actually be cool. So what does that mean? You have to actually develop yourself into a person who people will find cool while you're being yourself. So who you are when you're being yourself, meaning when you're being expressive, meaning when you are embracing who you are, that person has to be cool. In order for that person to be cool, you have to go inside yourself, meaning you have to figure out who you are. You have to face your demons. You have to go and challenge yourself, look at your weaknesses, improve your weaknesses, sharpen your strengths, become the best version of yourself to the point where it's natural, to the point where when you go somewhere, you can just relax and be you, and that you is cool. And it's not cool because you just want it to be cool. It's cool because you put the work in. It's cool because you stepped outside your comfort zone. You tried different things. You failed. You made mistakes. You got rejected. And you built character. And now your character is strong. Your character is attractive because you're unique. A unique individual. No one else can be that person. So that person, if he is cool, no one else can be that cool. You see what I'm saying? Because he is unique. Even if you try to copy him, it's impossible because there's certain elements about him that can't be copied, right? You can't have his same exact mindset. You don't have his same exact experiences. You haven't been through the same pain. You haven't been through the same triumphs. You know what I mean? You don't have the same achievements. You don't have the same tragedies. So being cool is not about standing a certain way or acting a certain way or trying to be smooth with the women or trying to be the best dressed or the best looking or all that stuff. It's about developing yourself into a person who you are proud of, a person that you like, that you love. So when you step in the environment, you feel good because you are you. Basically, the person that you are is a person you would create. You know what I mean? If you had to create the ultimate person, think about that. If you had to create the coolest guy you could think of, right? Compare that guy to you. Are you that person? If you're not that person, then guess what you're going to do? When you go in a club, you go in an environment, whatever, you're going to try to be that person. Instead, what I'm saying is become that person. So then when you go in the environment, you go in the venue, you go to the party, whatever it is, you're already that person. So all you have to do is just exist. And that's cool. Cool is when you can exist and your character, person you are, is already cool. So you don't have to put on a front. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to put on a facade. You are cool. So if you're trying to be something, by definition, you're not that thing, right? Because if you were that thing, you don't have to try to be it, right? A dog doesn't have to try to be a dog. A cat doesn't have to try to be a cat. A moose doesn't have to try to be a moose. It just is. So if in that environment, the most desired thing is a dog, if the dog shows up, it's just going to be the most desired thing. It doesn't have to try to be something. Or it just is. So you got to figure out whatever environment you go in, you got to have enough intelligence to know, okay, if I want to be the coolest guy in this environment, what do I have to be? Like, what do I have to display? And develop that on your own time. So if you don't have it right now, you're going into that environment, don't worry about being the coolest guy. Just go and get the reference, go and get the experience, be the best version of yourself. You know, so what if somebody else is cooler than you in that moment? But learn from that experience and keep improving. And one day you go to that same environment and you will be the coolest guy in that venue or that environment. But trying to be cool does not work. What was very cool is when you are so cool that you don't even know it. That's when you're on a different level, right? Like you go in an environment and like you go in a venue, you go to a party or whatever, and you just doing you, but all of a sudden you have women coming up to you, asking you for your number. You know what I mean? You're approaching women and they're responding positively. You know what I mean? Things are just going well and it's almost effortless. That's when you know that you have developed a character or a personality that is cool, that people like, people want to be around. You have good energy. Now, like I said, being you doesn't mean you're always going to be cool. That's the next thing you got to understand. Is like the person you are is not going to be accepted everywhere, right? There's going to be certain places you're going to go and you probably have a lot of references to be this cool guy or whatever, but you go in that situation and you're not cool. Maybe people don't like you. They don't like your vibe. They don't like your energy, whatever. It doesn't mean you have to change. You should look at the situation to see, hey, did I do something that is upsetting these people, that, you know, maybe is out of character or maybe something I can improve on. But don't expect to always be the coolest guy in the room. That's just stupid. You know what I mean? Because every place you go is different. But just so you have an understanding of what it is to be cool, it's not something you try to be. It's something that either you are or you're not. And if you're not, it's something you can become. You just got to observe. You got to look around. What is the cool people doing? What do they look like? What are they type of energy are they giving off? What are the things they do? Are they assertive? Are they confident? Are they laid back? You know what I mean? And develop your own character. And if you do it right, one day you're going to pull up to the venue. You're going to be the coolest guy in there. All right. So I hope this video was helpful. For more free tips and advice on picking up and attracting women, go to legitgame.com. Trey signing off. Peace.